Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. And we'll start with acknowledgements of treaties of peace and friendship. We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq peoples. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship, which Maliseet, Mi'kmaq, and Passamaquoddy peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1726. The treaties did not deal with the surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq and Maliseet title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. We'll move on to 1.2 and reaffirm our oath of office. We do hereby accept the office of council and will diligently, faithfully, and impartially discharge to the best of our ability the duties of the office as may be imposed upon us by law. We'll move on to 1.3, moment of reflection for August 2026. We'd like to remember Lillian Hickey of Nash Creek and Clarence LaPointe of Lorne. Now we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda. Clerk. Oh, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Sorry.
M92, that the agenda be adopted as presented.
I need a mover.
So move.
Seconder?
Second.
Question? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
And do we have any statements of conflict of interest? If not, we'll proceed to number 4, adoption of the minutes.
Motion 93, that the minutes of the Committee of Whole Council meeting of July 6, 2026, the regular meeting of July 20th, 2026, and the Committee of Whole Council meeting of July 24th, 2026 be adopted as presented.
Can I get a mover?
I'll move.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Any question on the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you. And 4.1, any business arising from the minutes? If not, we'll keep on going. Section 5, presentations, petitions, and delegations. There are none. We'll move on to 6, statements by members of council. We have none on the agenda. And so we'll move on to administrator reports, and I'll hand it off to clerk.
So there's the Social and Environmental Grant Report, which is motion 94, that the CAO grant report for August 2026 be accepted as presented and recommendations approved. $250 to the Lauren Days Festival and $250 to the Charlotte Fall Fair.
Could I get a mover?
So move.
Could I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to clerk treasurer report.
The financial reports for the month of July 2026. We'll start with the general operating fund. We had a balance carry forward of $213,338.09. Total deposits were $443,091.81 and interest revenue of $393.61. We had checks issued and other bill payments of $416,156.59, void checks of $1,890, and bank charges of $354.80. The checks outstanding for the month of June were $242,524.32, and at the end of July, the outstanding checks were $12,053.11. This left us with an account balance of $11,730.81. The capital reserve account balance was $3,113,408.79. The general operating reserve account balance was $239,215.16. And the gas tax fund balance was $837,496.28. Accounts payable as of July 31st, 2026 were $112,445.36, and the accounts receivable were $69,184.28. In the utility operating fund, we had a balance carry forward from June of $18,606.95. We had deposits of $2,093.63 and interest of $39.32. Checks issued were $2,830 and other online bill payments of $1,289.09. Checks outstanding as of the end of June were $789.85, and there were no checks outstanding at the end of July. The account balance at the end of July was $15,830.96. The capital reserve account balance was $97,456.03. The operating reserve account balance was $4,224.82, and the trust account balance was $34,055.24. Accounts payable as of July 31st were $41,969.41, and the accounts receivable were $7,197.25. To the motion, motion 95, that the financial report be accepted as presented and the accounts payable be paid.
Could I get a mover? Can I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Next is bylaws and policies, starting with 8.1, our remuneration bylaw readings. I'll hand it over to Clerk Buckle.
So tonight we're going to do the first and second reading of the remuneration bylaw. The first reading will be done in its entirety, and the second time will be read by title. So for the first reading, the Village of Beldoon Bylaw 2026-03, respecting the remuneration of the mayor and council. The Council of the Village of Beldoon, under the authority vested in it by Section 49 of the Local Governance Act, SNB 2017 C-18 of New Brunswick, enacts as follows. Short title, this bylaw may be cited as the remuneration bylaw. Composition, the Council of the Village of Beldoon consists of a mayor and 5 councillors. Remuneration, the salary of the mayor is $18,900 per year to be paid in equal monthly installments of $1,575. The salary of the deputy mayor is $12,852 per year to be paid in equal monthly installments of $1,071. The salary of each councillor is $11,340 per year to be paid in equal monthly installments of $945. Per diem. The mayor and each councillor of the municipality, upon approval by resolution of council, shall be paid a per diem rate of $100 per full day and $50 per half day for attending meetings, seminars, conferences, training sessions, and other like events as a representative of the municipality, more than 30 kilometers outside of the boundaries of the municipality. Calculation of a full day, which is 8+ hours, or half day, which is 4 hours, will include travel time to and from destination. When claiming per diem rate, no additional claim can be made under related expense under Section 8 meal allowance. Members of council may choose between receiving a per diem or receiving a meal allowance. Related expenses. Each member of the Village of Beldoon Council is entitled to reimbursement for expenses incurred incidental to the discharge of duties as a member of council, provided such expense is not disallowed by motion of council. The cost of meals for mayor and councilor's spouse or partner at banquet functions attended by that member pursuant to his or her duties as a member of council are an allowable and payable expense. Reimbursement pursuant to subsection 6 for local and out-of-village expenses shall be limited to reasonable expenses and made upon submission of an official municipal claim form to the clerk treasurer, accompanied by receipts, and not to exceed, for meals, breakfast $20 with receipt, lunch $30 with receipt, dinner $40 with receipt. This is including tip and excluding alcoholic beverages. Meal expenses can only be claimed for the council member, not for the spouse or partner. Mileage. Reimbursement for documented mileage at the kilometric allowance rate according to the Appendix A allowance schedule for the province of New Brunswick for travel in excess of 30 kilometers outside the border of the community. Mileage will be calculated from place of origin to destination. Expenditures exceeding the allotted amounts require an approval of the whole council by resolution. Lodging. Accommodations for approved travel will be made by the Village of Beldoon administration. Approved accommodation expenses are paid by the Village of Beldoon through accounts payable. Charges related to minibar or personal phone are the responsibility of each member of council and not reimbursable. Transportation. Wherever possible, elected officials are expected to travel by the most direct route and use the most economical means of transportation, taking into consideration the travel time and working schedule. Whenever possible, the village encourages those who have to travel away on business to travel together. If 2 or more people are traveling together, only one person may claim mileage or the cost of the rental. If a vehicle was rented by the village for a certain occasion, no individual person shall be compensated for mileage or the cost of the rental. Rental vehicles. Where it is economical to do so, an elected official shall use a rental vehicle from a village-approved rental agency, and such vehicle shall be of compact size or of an equivalent model. With accompanied receipts, reimbursements shall include the rental charges, kilometric charge, the cost of liability insurance waiver, and the cost of fuel. Whenever possible, accommodations for rental vehicles will be made by the Village of Beldoon administration. Any member of the Village of Beldoon Council missing regular hours of employment due to the discharge of duties as a member of council for attending meetings, conventions, seminars, training sessions, delegations, shall be reimbursed expenses at a rate not exceeding the rate of that council member's regular hourly wage for a period of time not exceeding the length of the event. Proof of wage loss must be submitted with official municipal claim form. Transparency. Public reporting. The municipality shall prepare a monthly summary of council remuneration, per diem, and expenses and publish on its website. Repeal. A bylaw of the Village of Beldoon enacted on the 15th day of October 2001 entitled Village of Beldoon Bylaw number 2001-09 respecting the remuneration of mayor and council, and all amendments thereto is repealed on the coming into effect of this bylaw. Effective date. The present bylaw comes into force on the date of the final reading and enactment thereof. This bylaw shall be reviewed not less than once every 2 years. Second reading of the bylaw will be by title. Village of Beldoon Bylaw 2026-03 respecting the remuneration of the mayor and council. Short title: composition, remuneration, per diem, related expenses, transparency, repeal, and effective date.
So I need a mover to, oh, sorry.
Motion 96, that bylaw 2026-03 respecting the remuneration of the mayor and council be read a first time its entirety and a second time by title.
Now I need a mover. Seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions regarding this motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to number 9, motions and resolutions, starting with 9.1, bylaw inspector appointment.
Motion 97, whereas the Beldoon Municipal Council has adopted a bylaw in accordance with the Building Code Administration Act, SNB 2020 C8, as amended, the Building Code Administration Act, including the building bylaw. And number 1, that it is necessary from time to time to issue orders for the administration of this bylaw. And whereas paragraph 6.1 of the building bylaw provides that if construction or demolition work is undertaken in violation of this bylaw, The act respecting the Building Code Administration Act or its regulations, the building inspector may issue in writing one or more of the following orders: cessation of construction or demolition work, modification of the construction or demolition work to remedy the violation, taking any other necessary measures to ensure the safety of the building or property. Therefore, be it resolved that Caden Levesque is hereby authorized, whenever construction or demolition work is undertaken in violation of this bylaw, the Building Code Administration Act, or its regulations, to order the cessation of such construction or demolition work, to modify the construction or demolition work to remedy the violation, and to take any other measures deemed necessary to ensure the safety of the building or real property, effective immediately, and this authorization shall remain in effect until they cease to be an employee of the Chaleur Regional Services Commission or until the council revokes it, whichever occurs first. Number 2, that it is necessary from time to time to initiate proceedings in the Provincial Court of New Brunswick when a person has violated or failed to comply with this bylaw. And whereas subsection 16.1 of the Building Code Administration Act provides that, subject to subsection 16.2, for the purposes of Part 2 of the Provincial Offences Procedure Act, a person who contravenes or fails to comply with a provision of the building bylaw or regulation commits an offence. It is resolved that Caden Levesque is hereby authorized to file complaints on behalf of the Village of Beldoon in the Provincial Court of New Brunswick for violations of the building bylaw, the Building Code Administration Act, or its regulations, effective immediately, and that this authorization shall remain in effect until they cease to be employees of the Chaleur Regional Services Commission or until it is revoked by council, whichever occurs first.
So I need a mover for this resolution.
I so move.
Seconder?
Second.
Any questions to the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councillors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to 9.2, the Beldoon website, and I'll get Clerk Buckle to read the motion.
Motion 98, that the municipality move forward with having the CAO request proposals from website designers on a new Beldoon website to be completed and expensed in the current year and reallocate the necessary funds from within the 2026 budget.
I'll need a mover for that motion. Seconder?
I'll second it.
All those, any questions on this motion?
I'd like to speak to the motion. I've been looking at the Beldoon website on several occasions, and I've noticed that there are errors in some cases, misinformation that needs to be addressed. For example, there are 2 areas on our website right there now. We can go look up the local government, mayor, and council. On one section, it shows the current council. I think just recently our pictures got put up. But if you go to the front page where it says local government and you click on that, you get the old council. Our profiles are not up there yet or anything like that. So there's just, and then another section. So also the information is incorrect and outdated, and there are a number of documents that are still on the website that are no longer relevant or should be or actionable. It's not, to me, it's not being managed in a timely manner. It's not user friendly for the administration nor the public. I'm not sure whether you are who oversees, if it's managed internally or externally by the company that provides the service. So I asked the question, do we work with the current provider to make sure the website is working as it should, or should we look at developing a whole new website and make it more user-friendly? I was advised that if you go back in the motions in 2022, there was a motion made for the interim CEO to receive proposals, which they did. I don't believe those ever came back to council. And then I think subsequent to that, there was also discussion, not a motion, for the current CAO to try working with the current web developer to have that website fixed. Again, that still hasn't been done, I believe, to the satisfaction of what Beldoon needs. If we're going to start working on a communication strategy at some point with this council, I think our website is probably one of the key communication devices that will be used, and it needs to be definitely more user-friendly. If you look at other municipalities and how their website is set up, it's way much easier to navigate through, and it definitely has to be much easier for the staff to be able to maintain and keep the information current. So that's why I proposed the motion.
Just a point of information on the motion, as well as that I had requested like a social media policy, and this would be a good time to kind of wrap the social media policy in with a new website development. So I thank you for that motion.
And I just want, and why I'm proposing that we do it now this year, because we may have the revenue someplace in our budget this year that we can reallocate. Next year, that's probably not going to be the case. So it's very important, I think, that we get it this year done, because we possibly, the money is possibly there, where next year it's possibly not.
So we have a mover and a seconder. All those in favor of this motion signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to 9.3, culvert repair, Mac Street. And I'll get Clerk Buckle to read the motion.
Motion 99, that the culvert repair request at 94 Max Street be completed by the Municipality Public Works Department in a timely manner as per the culvert policy CP 11-2020, and if possible, submit a claim to the vehicle owner's insurance or directly to the owner if non-insured.
Could I get a mover on the motion? Could I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion?
The homeowner on 94 Max Street has on several occasions requested repairs to their driveway culvert as a result of a third-party vehicle accident which caused the damage. This occurred in October 2025, and there has been no action taken to repair the damage, which is undermining the surface of the driveway by washing out the gravel under the pave and potentially causing it to cave in. Photos were provided by homeowner to all of council. The longer the existing condition continues, the more damage is occurring and undermining the pavement, thereby costing more to repair. The homeowner did report the incident to RCMP, and there should be an RCMP report, hopefully. The culvert policy says any repair required to maintain good working order of an existing is the responsibility of the municipality. The village will make the surface of the driveway as it was prior to repair, including any repaving. The municipality has done such repair in the past for other properties. So again, while looking into this, in some policies, the municipality may hold the homeowner responsible for doing repairs to a culvert, but however, in this case, it wasn't the homeowner that caused the problem, it was a third-party vehicle accident. So the damage, and then I found it because there was caused by a third party, possibly if there was insurance, then a municipality could go after the vehicle insurance or go after the owner. However, 10 months has passed by from the beginning of when the culvert needed to be repaired to the condition it is now. It is deteriorated to the state that it's way more expensive to repair this culvert than it would have been when it just would have been fixed in October 2025. In fact, today we got quotes from the CAO that between the fixing of the culvert by a contractor and then the repaving of it at some other time, it's going to cost over $10,000. This repair should have been a minimal repair that should have been able to be done by Public Works if it had been done back in October 25. And unfortunately, we're in a situation now that I'm not sure if it's still going to be a $10,000, because I don't think the person asked to have their culvert replaced. They just asked to have their culvert fixed underneath where it wouldn't keep caving in. But now over the winter and over the spring, it's just caved in more and more and more. So initially, when I put the motion about Public Works, it's because we didn't have the information on the cost from a contractor. So like I said, it's a little bit disappointing that it took 10 months to try to get a minor repair done that now is costing way more than it should have initially.
So we have a motion, and we have a...
I do have a question concerning that, Your Worship.
Yep.
You know, this was caused highly through negligence. The village of Baldoon should not have to be responsible for the repairs of this culvert. This should be addressed even legally, if I have to say it that way. And I say it this way because I personally have an 8-inch lift in my driveway, and I have been told because I can't even drive my car straight in. I've got to go in one wheel at a time on an angle. And I have been told that because my culvert isn't blocked, there's absolutely nothing the Village of Beldoon can do. So, you know, when you have issues that are personal, and it is personal, at the end of the day, when you have ignorance, and we're willing to pay for ignorance, yet personal doesn't come into play. I am highly opposed to this, and I will be voting against it.
May I speak to that? As Councillor Burke is saying, it says in our policy, any culvert that needs to be repaired should be repaired. So, as he's alluding to his culvert, there's other culverts in the community that had exactly the same problem and they got fixed. It's a culvert issue. It's on municipal property. It says in the policy that it's to be fixed by the municipality. So, having that raised culvert, other places you can't treat people different. You got to treat everybody equal, the same, if it's the same problem. This one here, it's not the culvert that's raised. It's the damage was done, like I said, but it's pretty hard now. It's going to be pretty hard now to go after a insurance or something 10 months after an accident when most of the damage was caused because the minor repair wasn't done, right? So there's something that needs to be fixed internally. I don't know what it is, so that these things are not happening and that the answer that everybody gets is the same answer. And it's on municipal property. So in this case, now Councillor Burke's case again, but in this case, the homeowner cannot repair it and then go after the insurance because it's on municipal property. They can't go after something that the municipality owns. And like I said, we got to be treating everybody the same. If they've repaired other culverts that has a bump into it and fixed it, then everybody should get the same treatment.
I think a point of information is it should be fixed. And we should be looking at any recourse possible within a reasonable time frame based on either preliminary legal counsel advice or but I think we have a motion on the floor, and I'll ask for a vote on this motion by a show of hands.
I'm not sure with this motion because because my motion says Public Works fixes it.
If I may, also, according to Councillor Burke and Councillor Cormier, like, it's just not one, there's multiple. Mine is also on the list. It's been, I think, over a year for me, and I still haven't had an answer yet. So it is a problem, and it needs to be decided. If it's the village, it's the village. But I agree with Councillor Cormier that it should be the village, not here and there, and it should be everybody in the village if there's an issue.
Do we want to postpone the motion to get clarification on costing or who's going to be doing it? Who's going to be doing the work, whether it's a contractor or Public Works?
I would say if we have, I don't want to drag this out for this person any longer. They've been 10 months worrying about driving out of their driveway. And that, I wouldn't want to see where we have to drag this through to a September meeting. This shouldn't have ever had to come to the council desk. It should have been very clear that it was what was supposed to be done. It should have never been on our desk. But because of the situation, that's why it's here. So I wouldn't mind postponing the motion, but not that we have to wait and make another motion. It's to make sure that get the Public Works to see if they can go fix it, and they should fix it.
So I would say that's the motion on the floor, is to repair the culvert. And so can we have a vote on moving forward with repairing the culvert by a show of hands? Those opposed?
Mr. Mayor, Councillors Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have voted in favor. Councillor Burke has voted against.
Motion carried. And just a point of information on that, I believe that we should be doing a comprehensive list with our Public Works of all culverts requiring repair and complete a maintenance plan Yeah.
And if our policy is not clear enough, but it was very clear to me when I read it, but the other thing is that it's got to amend that at some point, but it should be in there also, that if there's any damage caused to municipal property, a culvert or a guardrail by a vehicular accident, then that information needs to be gathered, and they've got to be billed for that after, you know?
So we'll move on to 9.4, transfer of funds, and I'll get Clerk Buckle to read the motion.
Motion 100, that a transfer of $525,134.84 be made from the General Capital Reserve Account to the General Operating Account for the Main Street Upgrade Project. This is a temporary internal bridge while we await reimbursement from the Provincial Municipal Highway Partnership Program.
Could I get a mover on this motion?
I'll move.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Next one is 9.5 is change in time frame for first and second reading of the procedural bylaw by title.
Motion 101, whereas on June 15th, 2026, a resolution was passed to have the first and second reading of the new procedural bylaw, and whereas the council and staff were unable to complete the draft of the procedural bylaw by that deadline, therefore be it resolved that the first and second reading of the procedural bylaw be suspended until council can hold a committee of whole meeting on a date to be determined to complete the draft of the bylaw, post a public notice, and the draft bylaw on the website and in the municipal newsletter, and be available for viewing at the municipal office, and that a special meeting be held on a date to be determined for the first and second reading of the bylaw.
Do we have any recommendations on dates?
For me, for the committee of whole, if it could, like sometime this week, I'm open for myself during the day and in the evenings, and then I would say probably no later than the 31st, maybe have that special meeting for the first and second readings, and there we'd be right on target for September regular meeting to finalize. But I'm open to dates.
Any other councilors have any restrictions with that? Or?
As I mentioned before, I am actually leaving in the morning. I'll be gone to the National Convention for the Royal Canadian Legion, and I will not return until the 26th. So for me, any time after the 27th would be fine.
So what were your dates again, Councillor Cormier?
I was, like I said, I was good with the 27th on a Thursday. I don't know if Councilor Burke is back like during that day, or if he's,
Yeah, I'll be in the evening of the 26th.
so.
Yeah, 27 doesn't, there's a
27th.
serious CRSC meeting, the 27th, so that's not gonna work for, Mayor LaPointe and I.
Let's, can we do it on the 28th,
That's a Friday.
Friday?
It could be daytime. I mean, if the CEO is available during the day and the clerk is available during that day,
Yeah.
we could do it during the daytime like we did before, and stay till it's finished.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
if it-
available too.
Yeah, and then if it gets drafted and ready for the reading, the first and second readings, then the next week it would be fine.
Yeah, so we can. 28? Okay.
Okay, I just need a time.
1 o'clock
We can do earlier?
or mornings?
9 o'clock, is that good?
Yeah, 9 sounds good.
Okay, do we have dates for the special meeting, date and time?
I guess the question is, if we got it completed on that Friday, would the staff have time to compile it together for a special meeting on Monday?
I can't speak for CAO Lee, and he's normally the one that does that, but that really doesn't give him a whole lot of time, because I know we still have quite a bit to go through. So I don't want to commit him to that.
Probably do even if the week of, it's September 1st, September 2nd, would still, and then I think if we still get it posted on those days, we'd still meet the legal requirements before the before the third reading in September, as long as we get those days that we're not breaching them, 10 days or 14 days, we need to post it for the third and final reading. So, yeah, first, second would be fine with me.
Okay. Let's put a tentative date of September 1st. And we can do it again at 9 o'clock. Would it be a public meeting? Okay, yeah.
So I'll reread the motion now?
Yep. Yes.
9 a.m. Motion 101, whereas on June 15th, 2026, a resolution was passed to have the first and second reading of the new procedural bylaw, and whereas the council and staff were unable to complete the draft of the procedural bylaw by that deadline, therefore be it resolved that the first and second reading of the procedural bylaw be suspended until council can hold a committee of whole meeting on August 28th at 9 a.m. to complete the draft of the bylaw, post a public notice, and the draft bylaw on the website and in the municipal newsletter, and be available for viewing at the municipal office, and that a special meeting be held on September 1st at 9 a.m. for the first and second reading of the bylaw.
So I need a mover for that motion?
I'll move.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Question to the motion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thanks. Going on to Section 10, General Correspondence.
I didn't print the correspondence out list, but I can give you the correspondence in. So coming in was the SPCA report for July. There was also the building permit report from the Shoulder Regional Service Commission for July, and the Universal Rail Systems track inspection report for July.
And there's no closed sessions tonight, so we'll move to Section 12, adjournment, and I'll get Clerk Buckle to read the motion.
Motion 102, that the meeting be adjourned at 7:35 p.m.
I need a mover.
I so move.
Seconder?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Mr. Mayor, Councilors Burke, Carrier, Cormier, Robinson, and Hickey have all voted in favor.
Motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.